Hello and welcome to Ready Set Glow. My name is Aphelele Ntame. Today I'm joined by Tamia Mokoena, who's connecting with us on Zoom. She is the founder of Tol'Thema. Thank you so much for making time to connect with me, Tamia.
Thank you so much for having me.
Lovely having you here. I want to get straight into it. I need you to take me back to 2016. What would you say was the moment or experience that led to the birth of Tol'Thema?
Sure, 2016. 2016, I was still in high school. um, I guess I took business studies as a one of the subjects that I would then study, and I was so inspired by my business teacher. I loved her so much
Yeah.
that I knew that I would either start a really cool business to make her proud, or I'd be just like her and become a teacher. I guess. Down the line, I then made up my mind that I would start Tol'Thema because I think the story with me is that I actually knew I would become an entrepreneur before I figured out what exactly an entrepreneur. So Tol'Thema just happened to be um, the business that I started with. But yeah, I guess it's been an intentional, long planned journey.
Yeah. Okay, so the name itself, Tol Thema, you said. I'm closer, so I would read it as Tol Tema. Please tell me, where does the name itself originate from and what language is it? What does it mean in basically?
Okay, so I guess I'll see it's a semi made up word, but it does have meaning. So I knew that Tol'Thema in itself would have very much like African origin to it, but I loved the idea of it being mysterious. I didn't want when someone heard the name that already associate a meaning to it. I wanted Tol'Thema to be the Tol'Thema as in us and nothing else. So I went on a Google search looking for an African word that was not South African, that nobody would in South Africa would know what it meant. That meant queen because, as you know, Totema started out with selling just head wraps, and to me, like a head wrap is a crown, and anyone who wears a crown is a queen. So I went on a Google search looking for an African word that meant queen, and on the search, I came across the word Tema, which I think has Ghanaian origins. And Tema sounded really cool. It was cute, but it was still way too you plain. So I thought, well, my crowns make you stand tall, not tall in height, but tall in confidence. So instead of just Thema, it should be tall Thema. And I added a twang for the mystery, which then became tall Thema, which directly translates to me as a tall queen.
I love that. Love that so much. So it started as content creation to now owning your own beautiful brand. Now that you're even mentioning the meaning behind the name, it makes a whole lot of sense. I want you to tell me, how has the experience as a whole, from content creation to the business owner that you are now, how's the experience been for you?
I think it's been really, really great. I think before I even I think like I said, I've always had my mind set on entrepreneurship, right? And as I was reading all of these books and learning, then I discovered that there was so much power in content and social media, that there was so much value in there. So I remember I told everybody that I would be rich, and somehow content would get me there. So I told everybody I'm gonna be a content creator. I'm gonna. I think at the time I'd be an influencer. That was the goal. And but behind that all, when I initially started actually posting online, I had this vision that it would somehow turn into something that would be profit for me. So even though I was sharing things that I loved at the time, which was just like my very modest day-to-day outfits, what I was literally wearing to class on that day, but I didn't know how or when, but like I knew that somehow it would be valuable, right? It would be valuable. And I think even with how Tol'Thema even came about, it was through people asking because I would just share my outfits. And because of the time, I was wearing head wraps a lot because I was trying to hide my bad hair and I didn't have money to fix it. So people were constantly asking my DMs, like, where do you buy the head wraps from? How do you tie them? And I guess because I was already in that entrepreneurship mindset, it just clicked to me that this is it. People are asking me for head wraps. I might as well just plug them. And that is when the idea of Tol'Thema came about. So for me, content has always been more than just about content for fun, but it was always a way for me to share something, whether sharing my outfit for somebody else to try on, and I guess in this case sharing my love and passion for head wraps, which then eventually turned into a business.
Okay, lovely. So you mentioned modest rather, sorry. And the thing about your designs, they are very inclusive for women, for African women. And I just want to know from you, how intentional are you in making these garments that are not just inclusive, but also very relatable for the modern and modest African woman?
Sure, very, very, very intentional to the point where whenever I create a design, I have a group of, let me say, friends now, four different people. I have a very short friend, then I have a very plus size friend of mine. I think she wears like I think, and then I have this other friend of mine, she's really tall. So whenever we're still in, whenever we're still in that stage of things, I always want to invite them all. Let's all try it on. Does it look? Do you feel good? Does it feel good in you? Do you feel comfortable in it? And like I just have this thing in my mind that like I don't want anybody to wear the dress and feel like, oh, this would look good if I was skinnier, or this would look good if my body looked different. I want someone to feel good in it. And with in terms of modesty, I think the goal for Tol'Thema has always been to prove and I guess make people see that modesty is actually is beautiful. Modesty is it's trendy, it's chic. Like you don't need it doesn't need anything just in itself. Like it serves. And yeah, so there's definitely so much intention to it. We even offer um length sizes, right? Because the length is really important. If you're a short person, I know a lot of short people really struggle at the store because stuff don't really fit them well. And we make sure that all of our dress options have a petite option so that the dress looks just as good on you as it does when you see it on me or any one of our models.
Lovely. So building a brand like Tol'Thema doesn't just create style, yeah? It creates opportunity and job creation. I want to know, who does your team consist of, but also your near team, not far-fetched, because you have created many jobs with a vision that you just had way back in 2016.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So in my team, now I have two departments, which is the manufacturing side of things, and then also the operations, which is then fulfilling all of the orders because our store is mainly online. So I have a really big manufacturing team, but the people who I talk to one on one, who really in close communication with, is obviously my production manager and my inventory manager and the quality control because of the volumes that we're producing now and the standard of quality that we've set up. It sort of like creates a need for lots of processes. And then with the number of actual tailors, it varies depending on the 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 capacity, right? We've had to increase our capacity like quite a lot in a short span of time, and depending on how the volumes are coming in, we always get some tailors who help out temporarily, and some who come in and out to reduce and increase our capacity as needed. But on the operation side of things, yo, should I list out everybody?
You don't have to. You don't have to.
Yeah, well, quite a big team. I have a small team that helps me out with the marketing and social media. It's like three of us, and then there's operations, the delivery guy.
Yeah, that's job creation.
Yeah, we are quite a big team because it takes a lot. I think a lot of people still assume because they see my face online. You think if you call us up, you're immediately speaking to Tamia. If you walk in the
Like I
store, you
did.
see Tamia. Yeah, yeah. So like I do have quite a big team, and there's everybody for everything because I think you can't do anything big on your own. There's a saying that I live by, which is if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, then you need to take others with you. And I don't take that lightly. I believe there are other people who can do things far much better than I can. So instead of trying to overload myself and do everything by myself, I always bring along people who are better equipped.
Lovely. So, as a creative, I'm sure you've had a full circle moment. I want you to just let me know about that. What experience have you looked back to and be like, this is a full on, full experience moment? Do you have any? I'm sure you do.
Sure, I have quite a lot of those actually. I'm just thinking back to like when I started. I'd be the one uh, our orders at Pip when we're dropping off Pixie, even at the courier guy, right? And some days when I pass by there, I'm just like, oh my god, like it's gotten so bad that like, and we've gone so far so quickly that like some things that was doing just less than a year ago, it now feels so foreign and far-fetched because so much has happened and so much growth has transpired. So whenever I just pass by places that remind me of a place where I was when like I had just started, when I don't know what it would pan out to, and I didn't know that this thing that looks so little, that looks like I don't know. I had no idea if what I was doing and trying so hard would work out at. And I'm looking at it today. I'm like, girl, if only you had knew. If only you had known how far this little thing you're trying would take you. Yeah. So like those little moments do that for me.
Okay. So, as seen on social media, there's a new fave of mine called the Nkosazana comment. Um,
Mhm.
I want you to just tell me the inspiration behind it because I genuinely loved how you narrated on socials. The not just the name itself, but the origin of the name and what it means for you. So can you just touch on that if you don't mind?
Definitely. So most of our designs are very much inspired by the South African culture, right? And as you know, our country is so rich with with culture and history and origin. And Unkosazana is a Zulu word that means a princess, right? So you know, a princess is different from a queen in the sense that a princess is more delicate. A princess is she is young. She is protected, right? But she's still royalty. She's still powerful. And if you see the Nkosas on a garment, it is actually uh, features the Zulu leopard print, which is mainly worn by the Zulu people. So if you just see that, it just even the garment in itself, how it comes out, there's a sense of royalty, right? Of a princess, one that has authority and a name that carries power, but then it's so delicate in the sense that it's feminine. Even how it flows, it's gentle, it's soft, just how a princess would be. Powerful, in charge, and control, but still so elegant and soft and protected, like a princess.
I love it so much. So before I let you go, I just want to know, looking ahead, what is the legacy that you want Tol'Thema to leave behind?
Oh my gosh. That I could talk forever, but in just simple words, I'd like Tol'Thema to uh to represent love for ourselves as Africans, all right? I'm always so intentional about like ensuring that Tol'Thema never sways too far from Africa. Okay, that's why our designs are so rich in our culture and very much inspired by our tradition, right? And also, I hope that Dothema will change the narrative on modesty, right? To make even young people realize that modesty is not something that you come into because life has hit you hard and now you're tired and old.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's how most people see it. But like modesty can actually be something that is beautiful and desirable and powerful. That loving yourself and owning your power, because these days it's come to look like um dressing like a specific kind of way, like when a woman says, I'm liberating myself, I want to feel powerful. Most of the time it means actually dressing, wearing less than more, right?
Wearing less. Mm-hmm.
Yes, but I think I want to change that. We want to change the narrative in the sense that, like, when you dress modest, like, you actually feel powerful. There's a sense of elegance and power that it aligns you with. So we hope to change that. That modesty, it's beautiful. It can be sexy. It can be elegant. It can be very much in and sophisticated, and everybody should consider being a modest girly.
Love it. Modest girlies worldwide.
Modest girlies worldwide.
How can anybody listening and watching get a hold of your designs or get a hold of you and anything to look forward to? Any collections, any collaborations?
Definitely, definitely. We're always cooking up something. There's always gonna be if you keep up with us, we're always dropping something. And now we're sort of like deep in the middle of winter, but we're already in. I don't think we're already prepping for wedding season. For wedding season when the sun comes back out. But we are everywhere. You can find us on TikTok, on Instagram, and Facebook. If you just search up Tol'Thema, Tolthema, we should show up at the very top. You can also connect with us on our website, which is also our online store, which is tolthema.com, Tolthema.com, or on our WhatsApp line at 0672351375. You can also call us directly on call on that number.
Thank you so much, Tamia, for making time to connect with me on the wireless. I honestly appreciate and I'm so in awe of the work that you're doing.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.